Okay.
So my looking for this training, I'm looking in particular in this training that how we are validating the SAP. So is there anything and there is any scope in this kind of thing in this particular session? I just wanted to know about this thing.
So we will be touch basing more things about technical. You will get what exactly HANA is. Okay, Bharat.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Bharat, can you unmute
Yeah.
yourself and yeah,
Hi, myself Bharat Raju. I'm a
yeah, Bharat.
validation engineer at one of the pharmaceutical company. Yeah, the
Okay,
thing here is, I would like to know more about HANA, how it works in the pharmaceutical industry. I'm not familiar with all those IT things. Just want to learn about it. That's it from my end.
okay. One thing. What do you guys know about HANA? What is HANA?
Sorry.
What is HANA? You heard right? I mean, you say HANA. What is actually HANA is?
I mean, it's related to IT thing, but I think it's a cloud based thing, right?
Okay, we will touch.
We know more.
Yeah, yeah. Go
I
ahead. Go ahead.
think we know about mostly HANA we are using into the manufacturing facilities. That is a kind of module.
No, no. See,
Since we are
HANA is not at all related to manufacturing or pharmaceutical or any particular module. Okay, we will discuss what exactly HANA is. Okay, Mukti.
okay.
Uh, it's a enterprise resource planner. Yeah, it's not only for pharmaceuticals. Any company can use it to streamline their finances or their
Mm-hmm.
purchase orders and everything. Yeah.
So, I mean, why SAP has come up with the idea called HANA? I mean, what is exactly the idea behind HANA? Anybody knows?
Uh, uh, it's like digitalizing your finance, like purchase orders. It's easy to like share with your customers, clients. Yeah.
Okay, this was Shirsha, right?
Yes.
Okay, Mukti. What? Okay, Mukti, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, this is Mukti. I have work experience for about 7 years in QA department in pharmaceuticals, and currently I'm working with IT QA department in the Coforge company. So I have user and experience for working with SAP. I have worked in manufacturing sites for maintaining the material management activity through SAP. So now I'm interested to learn about the SAP core activities like as a consultant type. So I'm looking for that kind of job. Hence, I'm interested in this course.
Okay. Uh, okay, Krishna.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Vamsi Krishna. I'm working as a team lead in GXP applications and OT system, operation technology system. We are dealing with the equipment qualification and all the CSV activities, periodic evaluation and data backup, restoration, audit trial reviews, everything. We are dealing with
Mhm.
and audit and compliance towards. And we are working with applications as well, IT applications like DMS, LMS. I have a limited knowledge of S4 HANA and its application and all. I just want to know how it works and in deep technical things in the S4 HANA. That is the reason I've joined in this demo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Shravani.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm a validation engineer in one of the pharmaceutical industry. So I don't have any knowledge regarding HANA. So I just want to get exposure for it. So that's why I
Mhm.
joined this meeting.
All are validation department consultant only.
Yes.
Okay, you all are from same company or different company? You guys know each other?
I don't know anybody here.
No, we are not aware.
Okay. Sandeep. Sandeep is there. Shirsha.
Hi, I'm a CSV consultant. I would like to now want to get into manufacturing as well, like MES and other applications. I want to know more about SAP HANA because I want to know the integration of SAP into other applications, how it works. In my previous company, I also was involved with SAP integrating into BM RAM and everything other applications. So I want to know more how it is implemented and how it is integrated and all those parts. Yeah.
Okay, Payal, can you just mute yourself? Okay. Okay, Sandeep, Raju is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have 10 years experience in QC. Would like to know the SAP HANA. So it is a new technology, no? So I would like to know. That's it. That's why I joined.
Okay, so I have covered almost everyone. Okay, my screen is visible. Yes or no? Yes, right. My screen is visible, guys, right? Come on, guys. Yes or no? You can say.
Yeah, you can see this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now first understand. Okay, tell me what is ERP. Okay, tell me what is SAP without HANA. Anybody knows what is SAP without HANA? Tell.
It is system applications and products.
Yeah, so what do you mean by ERP system? Enterprise resource planning. So what exactly the meaning of ERP system? If I just ask, tell me. Anyone want to tell?
Generally, SAP deals with the plant management and quality approval and maintenance modules and HR module. Generally, all these modules will be maintained by SAP. Generally, we'll use the SAP technology for these handling all these modules.
It's not SAP handle only this particular module. SAP is a solution.
Not only. I'm telling it's not limited to whatever we are doing. That's what I have told you.
Yeah.
It's not limited.
Yeah, so understand this. What is really ERP is? In simple terms, ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. What is enterprise? Enterprise is nothing my company. So I will have HR team, I will have sales team, I will have marketing team, I will have QA team, I will have warehouse management team. So all are these my departments. Then I have resources. What are the resources? Means how much money I have, how much machinery I have, how much manpower I have, what material I manufacture, all those things. And planning is what? Optimum use of my resources to run my business or enterprise, you can say, to run my business. It got time to run my business. To run my business so that my organization runs into profit. Okay, so simple concept, guys. Am I audible? Right? Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay, so what exactly ERP is? ERP is nothing but what my company do, what resources I have, and how I can make use of my resources to run my business into profit. Okay, if I give you a simple example, very simple example, why we use SAP. If you want to buy a car, okay, first thing what you will do, inquire. You will take inquiry from different showrooms. Then what inquiry person will give you? I mean, what the showroom guy will give you? Quotation. Okay, against the best quotation, what you will do? Create a sales order. Okay, if that particular sales order, what they will do, they will check in their warehouse, or you can say inventory, or you can say go down, whatever you want. If that particular car variant, color, whatever you choose is available, they will say, okay, sir, we will do the billing, invoicing, and delivery today itself. If that particular car or variant color is not available, they will check with, well, let's say, material management team. Material management team internally will check with production team. Production team will say, okay, let's say I have to buy different parts from different vendor. Vendor one will say part one. Vendor, see, Maruti as a company doesn't manufacture each and every part. Tires they will buy from MRF or Apollo. Engine they will buy from some XYZ company. Lights they will buy some from XYZ company. Maybe other parts they will buy from some XYZ company. They will assemble it and then they will manufacture the car, and then they will send it to the production team or the material management team. So this complete cycle, this complete, just to buy a car, this complete end-to-end cycle, what we are doing in a single ERP system, in a single ERP system. Okay, system. So SAP, what exactly SAP has done? SAP has designed a solution which will perform all your business transactions. See what SAP did. SAP, let's say, keep 100 pharmaceutical companies in mind. SAP understand all their business transaction, what they do, day in, day out. So what's the quality check? What's the expiry date? What are things they do? Then they implemented the same thing in their business solution. So what exactly the advantage here in SAP is, why company goes with SAP? SAP has integrated all my business process into a single server. If I go with something called Java or .NET or any XYZ technology, I will be messing up the things by creating 100 application, and then I have to create an interface between all the application. Okay, now what SAP has done, SAP has integrated all my business process into one single system, and through that single system, I'm doing my whole business transactions, and I have, each and everything connected. So if I sell a car, suppose, let's say, any one of you buy a car. Okay, I will just name any one of you. Okay, let's say Vamshi Krishna buys a car. Okay, as a company, Maruti knows how much I, spent on the parts of that particular car. So suppose, let's say, I spent around 5 lakh rupees and I sold the car to Vamshi Krishna for 12 lakh rupees. So I know my margins, I know my profit, I know my shipping cost. So each and everything I know from the system. I don't have to run behind different application to get the data. Okay, now what exactly HANA is? Okay, see, HANA is only the database which SAP has introduced. HANA is nothing else. Okay, so what was the thing is, see, when SAP started their operation, they started somewhere around 1980s or 90s. So they started with, R2 architecture. SAP R2 is nothing but two-layer architecture. Then SAP has shifted to R3 software. Okay, R3 is nothing but three-tier architecture of SAP software. Then SAP has introduced something called, in 2004, ERP software. Okay, ERP. This is nothing but enterprise resource planning. Now they have introduced in 2014 something called S4 HANA. So S4 HANA is nothing but fourth generation HANA software on HANA software of SAP. So S4 HANA is nothing but fourth generation SAP software on HANA database. So that's why SAP named it as something called S4. S4 is nothing but fourth generation SAP software, because they started with R2, R3, then ERP, and now SAP has come up with an idea called HANA. Okay, now what exactly HANA is? Okay. So in every software, we have three layers. Okay, or technically we designed the software with three layers. What are the three layers we have? We have something called database layer. Okay, we have something called application layer, where we do the whole coding, and then we have something called presentation layer, where you will see the data or you perform the transactions. Okay, so every system or every software we divide into three layers. Okay, presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. Okay, now what the thing is, what SAP used to do, SAP used to outsource their database. Why? So suppose, let's say, till 2013-14, what SAP used to do, SAP used to take license from Oracle or Sybase or Microsoft SQL or any XYZ database, and they used to outsource the database. What's the advantage? Advantage over here is, if any update happen or any patch update happen or anything update needs to be done at database layer, SAP doesn't have to worry about that. Why? Because SAP has outsourced the database to some third party company, and SAP was paying, and SAP was charging the client as per the database requirements. So suppose, let's say, I want this much TB of space and this much TB of RAM and all those things. So SAP will charge accordingly, number of users and all those things. So SAP knows, okay, whatever I am outsourcing to the client, I will be charging to the same to my customer. Now, what was the issue here is, till 2013, everything was working fine. But after 2013, what will happen? Now people are not used to log into desktop and laptops. Now people are, start using mobile applications. And the issue with this SAP older version without HANA is I don't have anything where I can develop mobile application, compatible mobile application, and start building it and start deploying it. So SAP has come up with the idea called HANA. What exactly HANA is? HANA is nothing but SAP own database. So what SAP has done, SAP has completely replaced all the database vendor, and SAP has launched their product as HANA. Okay, what was the need of HANA? See, if SAP doesn't introduce HANA, then SAP will be outdated from the market, because if SAP doesn't work with the latest mobile applications and latest things which people are doing worldwide, you will be slowly outdated from the market. If I say 80 to 90% business has been captured by SAP worldwide in all the manufacturing companies, not only pharmaceutical. If you go to petrol pump, all the petrol pump company uses SAP. If you go to DMart, all the DMart, Big Bazaar, whatever you have, more, whatever departmental store you have, all uses SAP. Okay, if you go to railway system, SAP uses railway, ticketing system. If you go to this Apple, Samsung, all, for their mobile also, they will use SAP to process the order. So what exactly SAP has done? SAP has captured the business worldwide. Okay, now SAP knows how exactly they have to be keep themselves updated in the market. So they come up with the idea called HANA. See, HANA, they have not think out of the box any new product. They copied the existing things. They copied the Oracle framework, they copied the SQL framework, and on top of that, they have built new things in HANA, and they have introduced HANA in 2013 and 14. So by 2017-18, HANA has become stable. Stable in the sense people started relying on the things. So people started relying on that thing means, suppose let's say as of now Android phone is there. So now Google knows, okay, Android is something which is very common, people are using it. So suppose let's say from tomorrow if Google says I want to replace Android with any XYZ OS, people will not will be comfortable to adjust to that particular software. So gradually or slowly only you will start using new things. See, earlier we were used to use Nokia mobile. So it's not like within nights we converted to smartphones. Okay, gradually we converted or started using smartphone. Now Nokia is totally outdated from the market, and we are totally switched to Android phones. Okay, similarly SAP knows, okay, 2013 they introduced HANA, but what exactly they approached with HANA is, by 2020 we are not going to support other database. So what exactly SAP is saying, I am giving you 7-8 years, you have to switch your database from Oracle to HANA. What was the need? See, HANA is SAP own product. Whatever new product SAP will launch on HANA database. Whatever SAP new things or new technology SAP will launch, it has to be compatible with HANA. It's not going to compatible with any other older softwares. So what exactly SAP wants? SAP wants all their customer to switch to HANA database. And SAP cannot push the things. SAP, see, suppose let's say I have just installed ERP system, let's say in 2013, and if you say you have to spend this much amount, let's say it's not a small amount, let's say you say you have to spend another 3-4 crore rupees just to switch to HANA software. Client or customer will say, I am not a fool, I just implemented ERP system and now you are asking me to implement HANA system. So every client was was waiting for other clients to implement, because see, I want first system to be stable. If system is stable and everything goes well, then only I will switch to new software. If my company is doing good and my software is stable, why I have to implement a new software altogether? But what SAP has done, SAP has said by 2020 I'm not going to support other database, but COVID comes, so SAP has extended the limit. Now SAP is saying by 2030 or maybe 2027 I'm not going to support other softwares which are implemented on other database. Okay, so what exactly SAP has done? SAP has introduced HANA as the database. Okay, so what was the need of the HANA? See, what are the advantage of HANA, or what was the need of the HANA? Understand first. Okay, I will give you two options. Okay, I'll say mobile one is having 256 MB RAM and 1 TB hard disk. Okay, 1 TB hard disk. Mobile 2 is having 16 GB RAM and 16 GB hard disk. Which mobile you will buy? Mobile 1 or mobile 2? Anyone? Or it is out of syllabus? Huh? Hello? Anyone?
I didn't get your question.
See, I am giving you two mobile options. Mobile 1 is having 256 MB RAM and 1 TB hard disk. Mobile 2 is having 16 GB RAM and 16 GB hard disk. Which mobile you will buy? Both the cost of the mobile is same, 20,000 each.
First
If
one.
you will buy first one. Sure.
Yeah.
Second will be the option.
Okay. Why second one? Why not first one? And who
I mean,
all will buy first one? First, tell me. See, the RAM size is 256 MB. Though the hard disk is 1 TB, understand, if I have 256 MB of RAM, it is of no use. You will not even able to open WhatsApp and Facebook.
I think we can upgrade it, right?
Yeah, upgrade is totally different thing. I mean, there is no upgrade option available.
Okay. Then I go with 16 GB RAM.
See, understand the reason. Why exactly we will buy higher RAM?
Performance.
See what performance means. Whatever application you access through RAM only. Okay, it's not like if you have 1 TB hard disk and if you have, let's say, 256 MB of RAM, you will not able to open a single application. Trust me. Okay, in Nokia 6600, we used to get 256 MB of RAM, where if you open browser, hardly will be able to open Google and all. Okay, because the RAM size is too less. There we don't have any application as such, where we can run. Now mobile company is giving 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB RAM. See, only the difference in the mobile is RAM. If the RAM size is 16 GB or 32 GB, the price get increased by 3,000 or 4,000 because the RAM is something which matters. Because if the RAM size is more, you will be able to access more application and your performance of the mobile will be good. If the RAM size is less, you will face a lot of difficulties, hanging of mobile application is getting stuck, all those things. Okay. So what SAP has done, see, in HANA, SAP has come up with the idea called, if a mobile company can give 16 GB RAM, why I cannot give my client the same RAM size as of the database hard disk? So suppose, let's say what SAP has introduced something called, SAP has increased the RAM size and that matches with the hard disk. So now SAP has come up with the in-memory database. In-memory database means what? The RAM size of my system, SAP system, has been increased, and whatever data I am accessing now, it's not I am accessing from the hard disk. In HANA, I'm saying I am accessing from the RAM. If I am accessing the data from RAM instead of hard disk, automatically my system performance will be improved multiple times. Yes or no? Okay.
Yeah.
So first thing is, see, what exactly I am saying is what in HANA, what SAP has done, SAP has introduced a lot of features. The first and foremost important feature is what? SAP has increased the RAM size. RAM size means what? SAP has given the same RAM size as of the hard disk. Now, instead of getting the data from the RAM, I am reading it from the hard disk. If I give you an example, what you will do, you will keep Facebook open. Okay, you will keep Facebook open, and if you just minimize the Facebook application, and again, if you open the Facebook application or Instagram application, the reel will be loaded immediately because it was in buffer, it was in RAM. But if you close the application and open it again, it will take some time to load the reel or load the video. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Why is it so? Because if the application is open, what exactly it is, that particular application is in RAM only, and when you open it, what exactly will happen? It will open quickly rather than closing the application again and opening it. See, you have this application, clear cache or something like that. What exactly it will do? It will free the RAM memory, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so what SAP has done, SAP has introduced something called fast in memory database. What exactly this will do? This technology allows you to process the data faster. Okay, so the massive amount of real time data means understand whatever transaction I am doing in DMart. If I want to analyze at night how many orders I have processed, or how many products I have sold, or how many XYZ product I have sold, I can analyze that data. And that data is not, I am storing somewhere and getting it. I'm, fetching it, the real time data, and processing it. So with HANA, you can process it. Earlier, what we used to do, we used to have something called business warehouse system, BW system. If you have heard SAP BW, where what we used to do, we used to fetch the data into cubes, and then from cubes, we used to get the data in a temporary table. So now all these things are, outdated. Now what exactly we are doing in HANA, we are directly fetching the data from the system. So the processing of the data has become a lot faster than earlier systems. So what SAP has done, SAP has introduced something called in-memory database, where SAP has introduced the RAM size as same of the hard disk or the memory. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then second thing, SAP implement multi-level processors. Multi-level processor.
Will you
If
please
I
explain? Please explain earlier one. This one.
earlier one is, what exactly SAP has done. SAP has increased the RAM size. Now what SAP has done, SAP has introduced the same RAM size as of the hard disk. So if you have 1 TB hard disk and 1 TB RAM, and data will be always read, whatever application you will open, it will be always uses the RAM memory. It will never uses the hard disk. Your photos or images will get at the stored at hard disk, but whatever you open the application, it will be always processed through RAM. So what SAP has done, SAP has, introduced or increased the RAM size. So whenever you run any report or whenever you run any application, so instead of reading it from the hard disk, it is reading from the RAM. So automatically, if it is reading from the RAM, the performance of the system is get improved, and you will have faster access to the real-time data. Got it. So that way SAP has designed the HANA engine so that it will not read the data from database. Instead, it will read the data from the RAM. Second is multi-level processor. What is multi-level processor? Okay, tell me, if I have to give you an option that you have to buy a laptop, which laptop will you buy? i3, i5, i7, or i9?
I9,
Why i9? What's there in i9?
because it will work faster.
Why it will work faster? Because the name is i9.
No, upgradation we can do all the updated applications we can use in that instead of I5 or I3. That's
So
the reason.
what's the full form of i3, i5, i7, i9? Why they have come up with name i3, i5, i7, i9?
That is the Intel Core processor.
Yes, so Intel Core processor, I got it. But what's the full form? Why they have come up with something called i3 or i5? Why they cannot say, some fancy name? See, i3 is what? 3 layer of core processor. i5 is like what? 5 layer of core processor. i7 is what? 7 layer of core processor. i9 is what? 9 layer of core processor. Maybe in future they will release i11. 11 will be what? So what exactly it means? See, what exactly they will do? They will install multiple level of core processor to process your request. Okay, so if your one request, there are 9 processor available, automatically your system performance or your laptop performance will be improved. Yes or no?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, the name. See, I mean i3, i5. Why there is a huge difference in the price? Because there are multiple layer of core processor they have installed in the new software or the new laptop. So that's why it's fast. Okay. So SAP says if a laptop can install multiple level of core processor, why I cannot install multiple layer core processor in my system to make my system faster? See, whatever SAP has done, SAP has just introduced the thing which we were doing earlier. See, SAP has taken all the things whatever was available in the market to make their system faster, because their only goal was to make their system faster, compatible with the whole other applications. If they don't make their system faster and compatible with other applications, then nobody is going to use that software. Okay, so what they have done, second thing is multi-level core processor. They have installed multiple layer of core processor to process your request. Okay, see, whatever I am saying, this is the basic thing SAP has introduced in HANA. Third is compression. What is compression? If you have to send a 20 MB file, what will you do? Or if you have to send multiple files, what you will do? Can you send a folder to me over mail?
Zip it and we can send it. We can zip it and we can send it.
What zip will do?
I mean, sending
it will compress the common files. See, if we are sending a mail by compressing common files, what SAP has done. So suppose, let's say, okay, Prasanti, right? Let's say Vamshi only. I will name anyone. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So let's say Vamshi has to give 1 lakh rupees to me. What Vamshi is doing, Vamshi is paying 100 rupees daily to me. Okay. When I save these entries, what I will be doing? I will be saving 1,000 entries in SAP. Yes or no? Of 100 rupees each. Yes or no?
Yes.
What I am saying here, instead of saying 1,000 entries of 100 rupees each, I will compress it to a single entry. Or look, up to whatever level I can compress, I can compress it. So suppose I'd say 100 into 1,000, and I will say into something like this, I will compress it. So compression is, totally depends on SAP HANA engine, which do the compression, maximum compression, whatever compression it can do, it will do it and save it the database. So your 1 GB file might be saved with 200 or 300 MB data. Okay. And when you open it, it will decrypt the file and it will show you the whole data. So it's not like that, I will not get all the 1,000 entries, though it is saving one entry, but when I open it, it will open with the 1,000 records, and in table, it will show me 1,000 record. But in actual, what I'm doing, I'm compressing it to one single record. See, these are the things which SAP has introduced at hardware level. Okay. So that's why SAP has named it HANA. What is the full form of HANA is? Anybody searched in Google?
High performance analytic application or application.
See, high performance analytical appliance. What exactly SAP is calling HANA? SAP is calling it as an appliance. What we call appliance is nothing but you can say product which have hardware and software both. So what SAP has done, why SAP is calling HANA as appliance, because SAP has done innovation in both hardware as well as software side. Okay, so what exactly SAP is trying to do? See, SAP is trying to make their system faster. SAP is trying to look their system, SAP is trying to change the look of their system. Look of the system means SAP is trying to make their system compatible with desktop, tablet, mobile applications. Then SAP is trying to make their software compatible with all the other technologies, whatever we have in the market. Okay, so what will happen? So suppose, let's say, as a company or client, I say I am using some 100 applications. If I say I will switch to SAP, and if SAP says all your 100 application will not work if you use SAP, then as a client I will say, why my 100 stable application will not work with SAP? Then what's the use of SAP, or what's the advantage of SAP? So now what SAP has come up, okay, I will make sure all the 100 application will run smoothly as they were running, and you will have a secure solution where you will be doing whole your business transaction in a one single system. So that's the whole idea behind SAP software. So SAP is mainly used to design or run your business rather than design or run your application. SAP understand your business, then SAP will provide the solution as per your business. That's the biggest advantage SAP has. Okay, so you will find in market thousands of SAP modules. So what SAP will do, SAP understand your business, and as per your business, SAP releases a new module. And SAP keep on updating their system. SAP doesn't want to be outdated from the market. See, understand SAP is so big, SAP is huge, SAP is in a comparison. If you do the comparison, SAP is as big as Google, Amazon, and all those companies. Okay, because they have captured 80 to 90% IT business worldwide. So whatever manufacturing companies, if you imagine, they all uses SAP to run their business. Okay, imagine how many orders Apple processing worldwide, and SAP is keeping track of all of them. Okay, see, Apple have all the money. Apple, if Apple wants, they can introduce their own ERP within days. They have that much workforce. But if they introduce their own ERP, they don't know the testing. They don't know, they don't have any particular team to work on. I have worldwide consultant, SAP consultant available who can work on SAP system, who knows SAP system to configuration, or who know how to, configure their business on SAP software. I don't have any XYZ software or system consultant who can configure my business on any XYZ software. That's why I'm going with something called SAP. Okay, so Samsung, Apple, all other companies, even Microsoft uses SAP, because if I have to find a stable solution, I know there are people available in the market. If I introduce any new thing, I don't know who will be working on that and how I will become, or I will have a stable solution. And I cannot have that much risk, to run my, production business, or my real-time business on a new software and take that much risk. If the software fails, or if any error occurs, what will happen with my transaction? So that's why I'm not at all going with any new software. Rather, I am using SAP, because I know people are using SAP, and SAP is a stable solution with different companies we have, or different business scenarios we have. So that's why you will find, many pharma companies uses SAP. So it's just not like, you see in your business company or your, whatever workplace, you will see, okay, they are performing a purchase order transaction or a sales order transaction. There are thousands of things running behind in SAP. Okay. So now SAP has come up with something called RAP, BTP, where, I can run a Python application, a Ruby application, a Node.js application in SAP, or with SAP, and I can connect with SAP backend database. So if you want any AI application which is designed in Python, and if you want to run it with SAP, now you can run it. Okay. See, SAP has to keep themselves updated with the things worldwide people are doing. If they not update themselves, they will be outdated within months. If some see the way Android take place and how Android just take over, Nokia, we can see the example. There was a time where people don't know any other mobile companies other than Nokia. Now nobody buys Nokia. Okay, you can just take this example. So companies, what exactly SAP do, say if SAP sees a challenge, or let's say if some XYZ product SAP sees, will maybe a competitor for me, or maybe, in future can impact any of my business models. So suppose, let's say, any XYZ companies releases a software which is, used for quality check in your pharma companies. And SAP sees, this particular company has potential and it can be a competitor. What SAP will do, SAP will buy that product and releases that company with name as SAP XYZ software. So that, my competition will be gone, and now that particular product is my product. So there are a lot of companies where SAP has acquired, SAP SuccessFactors, SAP Fieldglass, SAP Vertex. All these were individual companies which SAP bought it and renamed it and released it with SAP compatible softwares. So that I don't see that my monopoly is gone from the market. If I see any competition, I will buy it and make it my own product. I will buy it for double the price. Got it? So HANA is what? HANA is nothing but SAP database. Why SAP has to come up with a database? Because SAP has to update their system, and the biggest roadblock for them to update their system was the database. So they introduced their own database. Now what they will do, they will not outsource the database. So if you have opened, or if you have guys seen SAP, so it's, on-premise system doesn't change much. So if I open the system, let's say if I log into the SAP system, and if I go to system status, so all these things are, look same. Earlier we used to have something called database as, Oracle or SQL or Sybil. Now it is HDB. HDB is nothing but HANA database. Got it. So transaction wise, everything is same, but SAP has introduced a lot of new things with HANA database, and SAP is keep on adding the things. Now, any doubts or any concern you have, this training will be more technical. I am not a functional consultant. Since 15 years, I am working as a technical consultant. So it will be more technical, how exactly we program in SAP, how exactly we develop reports in SAP, all these things we will go. I'm not going to teach functional things, what exactly, how you will create purchase order or sales order and how you will do the configuration. That we are not going to cover. So that's why first place I asked what all expectations you have. Go ahead if you have any query or anything you want to ask regarding anything, you can ask. Yes, no, you guys are listening, or it's totally out of syllabus. Any doubts?
I have
Anyone? Yeah, go ahead.
In the current market, we can see that most of the IT companies are looking for the person who having the knowledge in CSP or for SAP modules. So my question is very clear: how we will learn about the validation of all the CSP, or validation of all the SAP related softwares? Means, do you explain us how the source code will work on the SAP development of the SAP, or
Yeah,
you just provide that?
No.
Yeah,
So
or you just
we will be doing the source code thing. So we will be, how exactly the code is written in SAP.
right. So it means that you will explain about the source code, how we are designing the source code, considering about the GAM4 categories software.
Yeah. See,
Oh, GAM5,
one thing.
sorry.
Yeah. So when we will be doing the coding part, we will be doing, from first lecture itself, we will be doing the coding part. Understand one thing. See, what does SAP do? Okay. See, SAP understand the business. What exactly SAP will do? Suppose let's say I will give you an example of 100 pharma clients. Okay, so what SAP has done, SAP understands the business of 100 pharma clients, and as per the business process of which 100 pharma clients follows, SAP provide the solution. Okay, now suppose let's say Glenmark is a company. Glenmark is a pharma company. Now I have, let's say 200 business process. Okay, to create sales order, purchase execution, all those XYZ things. Out of these 200 business process, what the solution SAP has provided covers 150 business process, which I follow. For the remaining 50 business process, I need a technical consultant, which will understand my business requirement and design the custom solution which SAP has not provided. Okay, for the 150 business transactions, I am able to use SAP provided a standard solution. For the remaining 50 business processes, I need to create a custom solution. Okay, it may happen for, let's say, ABOT, sorry, ABBOT. Okay, for ABOT, let's say ABOT has 300 business process. And whatever solution SAP has given, it will cover only 100 business process. So for the remaining 200 business process, what I have to do, I have to go with something called custom business solution. For all the custom business solution, we need SAP consultant who understand the requirement and now who will analyze the SAP system where exactly I have to incorporate all this custom requirement. Okay, so there exactly we as a SAP consultant comes into the picture.
Okay,
So it's me.
you mean to say the configuration changes required, everything you people will do, right? Other than the general requirement.
See, configure. Understand first thing. SAP doesn't know your vendors, your customers.
Correct.
See, SAP, what SAP will do, SAP will give you a raw product. And SAP doesn't want to know your customer and vendors. SAP will give you a raw product and SAP will say, okay, you can configure your vendors, you can configure your customer, you can configure your document type, you can configure your order type, you can configure what all materials you manufacture, everything you will configure. If I have to give you example, tele software. Okay, suppose let's say you open a grocery store, I open a medical store. Okay, tele software doesn't know that you opened a grocery store, I opened a medical store. What they will do, they will give you a raw product. Now in that tele software, what you will add all the grocery products, and what I will add, or I will add all the medicines. Then I need to configure the tele software, then only the software will help me to do the daily transactions. Same way you have to first implement the complete business process in SAP. Then only SAP will help you to do the business. SAP by default doesn't know. See, it's not like you buy SAP today and you start using tomorrow. You have to configure whole your business transaction in SAP. Then only SAP will be able to know who all are your vendors, who all are your customers, what material you are manufacturing, what's the expiry date. All those things you have to configure in the system. By default, they don't know. Okay, so what we will do, we divided the consultant into two, you can say uh, uh, you can say two divisions. When we have something called functional consultant who configure the functionality of each and every module, then we have technical consultant who will do the development of whatever custom requirements I have. Okay, and see, when I will be giving the technical training, I will be giving the training where I will talk more about the development rather than the configuration. Okay, any other doubt?
I just want to clarify one thing. So it means that you will provide the means training on that, like you how the SAP work means how if suppose any customers require that customization of any particular software. So it's kind of uh, whatever the requirement of the customer, you wanted to explain how the SAP works, right?
Yeah, so how SAP works is different thing. How we code in SAP. See,
How you code in
SAP,
different.
so SAP is also software. Okay, so if you go to any of the program, suppose let's say you want to create a sales order, so you will go to transaction VA01. So VA01 is something SAP also has written the code in backend. Okay, or let's say if you go to XD01 or XK01, these are all SAP transactions. So what exactly SAP has done in backend, SAP has also written the code. So we will understand how exactly we will write the code and what exactly SAP has done to write the code. So we will be doing more coding part, like Java, .NET, C, C++. We will have something called ABAP on HANA. This is the language which SAP uses. ABAP is SAP own language where we will write the SAP code and we will understand how exactly SAP code works. If you have to understand the functionality, then you have courses like SAP SD, SAP MM, which is module wise. So it's not like a common module. You have to be, specific which module you want to learn. So suppose let's say you want to learn warehouse management, then you will be learning all the warehouse related transactions. So that's a altogether different course.
So it is mandatory to know about the languages like Java.
No, nothing.
That
There is no prerequisite. You don't have to know any language. I didn't write any prerequisite. I didn't ask you to learn Java or C, C++ because SAP doesn't follow any of that syntax. Any other doubts? Anyone? So I am done from my side. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
Okay, thank you, sir. If no one have any questions, so we can close the call.
I have a question. Like, most of us are from pharma background. Our role is like more like how SAP can be integrated into other applications. How we create material like like a bomb or like a bill of materials or something like that. So like how all these things, like how we validate SAP system, these are all main things that we perform day to day activities. So like my question is like if we are learning like coding and all that, like completely only about SAP, and we are not learning more about like how the orders are created or like each module how it works, then how is this training helpful for us?
See, to be frank,
In which way it will be helpful for us to like expand our knowledge into different manufacturing or like supply chain or anything, like how it will help us?
see, what exactly the thing here is, see, whatever the BOM or bill of material, or whatever process order or purchase order, or whatever order you are saying, everything, every transaction we are performing in SAP system. Okay, if we have to integrate with other application, then what we are doing, we are making a call to external system. Okay, so if you are making a call to external system, then it's altogether a new thing. Means what exactly you are doing? Maybe you are using a third party application. It can be anything. It can be, let's say you are processing it from the Excel, you are processing from .NET application or Java application. But what I am doing is I am doing my core business from SAP. Core business in the sense, whatever business transaction I am doing from one single system. Be it sales order, be it purchase order, be it, bill of material, be it, my warehouse management. What exactly SAP has done? SAP has introduced many, you can say, systems which will integrate internally, and that particular system will run all your business transaction. So if you are not learning SAP, and if you are learning other technologies, then you will be working as a consultant from other technology. SAP is something, if you want to work on your core system in the sense, the system which I am using to perform all my business transaction, then you have to go with something called SAP. If you don't want to learn your core system, and if you want to learn, suppose, let's say, some XYZ application, then you will be working only on that XYZ application. We don't have a consultant, who work on SAP also, and who work on XYZ application also, or who works on, all the things. Because if we have a particular person, he or she only will be dedicated to the SAP system only, because SAP system itself is so vast that I cannot have a consultant who works on 5 different technologies. Are you getting my
Yeah,
point?
because like not like all pharmaceutical companies has to use SAP, right? Some companies use Oracle, or some companies use different ERP systems. Like
Name it.
uh, previously, like one of my company was trying to implement Oracle ERP.
Okay, so why they have
Yeah, so
shipped
like
to
if
SAP?
it's different ERPs they can use. So my point is like if we are learning like only like how
See,
how to set up. Yeah.
see, I will not have a landscape where I will be using Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics. There are multiple ERP systems available, and I don't want to complicate my company business to that extent where I will be using multiple ERPs. Single ERP I will be using to run my whole business. It can be Oracle, it can be SAP, but it will never be like I will use. See, you yourself get confused if you say, why, what I will do, I will buy a Android phone, I will buy a Apple phone, and half of my messages I will receive in my Android phone, and half of the things I will do in from my Apple phone, like that. Okay, so it doesn't goes like that. So whatever transaction, if you are performing, if you perform with Oracle ERP, then you will totally do all your business transaction with Oracle ERP. But if you are using SAP as a ERP, then you will want to, or you want, or you will be doing all the transaction with SAP ERP, because Oracle and SAP you can't integrate into a single system. Getting my point?
Okay. Sorry to ask you again. Can you please let me know like what all the things you're gonna cover with this training?
See, I told in first place only, I will be covering more technical things. Okay, so what exactly we have? We have something called, you know, at very high level language, what exactly we have done? We have classified different types of objects which we do in SAP. We call them as RICEP objects, where R stands for reports, I stands for interface, uh, C stands for conversion. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this. Enhancement, E stands for enhancement, F stands for forms. So in reports, we have something called classical report, ALV report, OALV report, interactive report. So these are the different tools which SAP has introduced. Okay, then interface, we have something called ALE IDOC, RFC, BAPI. So what exactly interface is? Suppose let's say my company or let's say Maruti uses SAP. MRF also uses SAP. Now I want to exchange the data between two SAP systems. So I have to design an interface between two systems. Then I have something called conversion. Conversion is, BDC I use to update the data in bulk or mass. So suppose, let's say I have some 5,000 vendors to be updated or 5,000 customers to be updated. So what tool I will use? Then I have something called enhancement. Enhancement is something, I want to enhance SAP standard solution. For that, SAP has given user exit, customer exit. So these are just the name of the tools. Okay, I don't want to confuse you, but there's just the fancy name SAP has given, announcement framework. And then we have something called smart forms and Adobe forms. Okay, so if you know buy a Parle G, or let's say if you buy a hide and seek, what exactly they will do when you go to the billing counter? They will scan the barcode. So how we will generate the barcode? We have something called barcode logic, where exactly what we will do, we have a material code which we convert into a barcode, and the same barcode has been printed in the product. So what exactly I mean here is, so if you buy a hide and seek from, let's say, Pune DMart, and if you scan that particular hide and seek from Mumbai DMart, you will still get the same material code, same price, same discount. Okay, because what exactly I am doing, I am running my whole business from a centralized system. Okay, so this you can say online platform, you will get the same offer what you get in the store. So if you download GeoMart or Tata Star Bazaar or whatever app, it's not like that online you will see different discount and in a store you will see different discount. What exactly they will do, they will process the online orders from the store only. So what they are doing, they have configured each and everything in a single system, and from the single system they are running the whole business transaction. So that's what I'm saying. You cannot have a system where you are saving the material and another system where you are generating the report. So it will never happen in any company landscape that they are running 2 or 3 ERPs. Okay, either they will be completely running on Oracle ERP, or they will be completely running on Microsoft Dynamics, or they will be completely running on SAP. Okay, along with that, we will be learning object-oriented programming, which we call OOPS programming. We will call module pool programming, and then we will be learning something called data dictionary, where we will be learning all the database artifacts. So this is completely, technical training. After that, we will learn something called CDS, AMDP. These are the new features which SAP has introduced, which are compatible or which are more used with HANA database. Then we will learn something called ALV, IDA, HANA modeling, and then we have something called native HANA development. So it will be totally, you can say technical course. Functional course, if you have to go, then you have something called SD module, MM module, PP module, PM module, EWM module. There are thousands of modules like this. Okay, because you will never find a person who works on all these things. See, understand, SAP is so vast in the sense, if I say ABAP is just a module, in ABAP we have something called ABAP consultant, we have something called ABAP on HANA consultant, then we have something called ABAP RAP consultant, then we have something called ABAP Fury consultant, then we have something called ABAP CRM consultant, we have something called ABAP EWM consultant. So ABAP is just one module. Inside this, we have something called 10 different consultants are there. Okay, so understand this way. Nobody is going to cover 10, 12 transaction which you want to learn. Okay, if you have want system understanding, you have to go from basic to advanced. It's not that simple, that I will say, okay, we will just have a training for 10, 12 hours, where I will teach you, okay, all these transition we perform in SAP to run the system. Okay. Got it.
Sir, as we belongs to pharma industry, so whether it is going to useful for us, means any job opportunity in future means.
See, if you want to be in pharma industry and if you don't want to perform any technical things related to SAP, then I would suggest you choose a module which will have functional modules inside this. So if you want to, work on material related things, you can go with something called SAP where what exactly we will do, we will learn the whole material management configuration like bill of material, MRP running, and all those things. Okay, so you have to understand first where you want to switch. See, it's not like what exactly you guys are seeing here is that we to perform certain transition we use as SAP. Okay, see, HANA, you don't have to learn anything in HANA. Understand, HANA is just the database. Okay, so if you learn any particular new module, by default you will be learning that particular module on HANA database only. Okay, so if you are not learning technical, then you don't have to, learn something called, what exactly I'm saying here is, you don't have to learn SAP and then you have to learn SAP on HANA. By default, you will be learning SAP on HANA database only, because everybody is teaching whatever they are teaching on HANA database only. Okay, so first you have to identify whether you want to switch your career to SAP. Then if you want to work as a SAP consultant, then you have to identify which module you have to choose. Okay, you have to see the market of that particular module and you have to keep yourself updated in SAP. It's not like that you will be doing whatever end user transition you are doing and still you want to be a SAP consultant. If you want to be a SAP consultant, you have to be technically good, strong, and you have to go deep in SAP. Then only you will find fancy packages, good opportunities, and all those things. You cannot be an end user SAP consultant who just perform or simple transaction by creating a purchase order, sales order, or bill of material, or purchase requisition like this. Okay, because there you don't have any business requirement. There you are just performing a single transaction. You don't interact with the client. You don't understand the business requirement. You don't understand how exactly you have to configure that business requirement to SAP system. Okay, so you have to be technically good. You have to understand what exactly the system works, how exactly the system works, and how exactly you need to configure that custom requirement into your SAP system. Okay, got it?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so that's it from my side, guys. Hope it was good session. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, sir. Thanks to all.